typically it's gonna be either sports or video games. All right, now, granted, there's other games that men can become very passionate about, men can become very even addicted to, all right? And an addiction to it or overuse of some of these things is unhealthy, all right? I'm completely on the same page with some of you on that way of thinking. However, let's go a little deeper for a second. Understand, and let's start with video games. Understand that video games for a lot of men, and quick disclaimer, I'm someone who used to play video games a lot. I stopped playing them a long time ago. Not saying there's anything wrong with a man who plays video games, but I want to let you know that I've been on one side of the spectrum and now I'm on the other side. But video games for a lot of men is an escape. It's a getaway. It's a way to take my mind off life and all these other things that may overwhelm me. It's a more enjoyable pastime, all right? And because of that, the video game becomes the man's sanctuary, so to speak, all right? His place of peace. Even when he's rattled and all into it and acting all crazy, he likes being there than being in the world right now, having to deal with a bunch of other nonsense that stresses him out. And so to some men, video games is very important to them, all right? It can be the equivalent to what maybe reading a book to someone else. Granted, we can argue that reading a book is more beneficial depending on what type of book it is, but that's not the point. The point is how he perceives it and what it means to him, all right? And so essentially, when he's in that space, he doesn't want you trying to pull him out of it all the time, all right? Now listen, I do think that if you notice your man being too much into video games to where he is not taking care of his responsibilities, all right? Or he is being too lazy, then yes, you should discuss these things with him. Nothing wrong with that. I would encourage you to. But you don't interrupt while he's playing the game, okay? You don't make it an argument and fight while he's playing the game. This is the wrong time. If you do that, you can actually create resentment, all right? And create just a lot of friction in the relationship. And yes, you may be saying right now, but it's just a game. No, it's not. Like, stop doing that. It means more to him. Now, here's something else that I personally believe and have observed when it comes to men's, I'll use the word obsession with video games. I believe that men are internally wired to face challenges, conquer something, have something they can be proud of, right? Achieve. And video games has become an easy way to get that fix, all right? For a lot of men, going out into the world and trying to do big things seems too daunting. For some individuals, they don't want that level of achievement, but there's still something in them that wants to beat something, so to speak, all right? And playing that game and beating that level and doing this, it makes him feel good. So again, when you say it's just a game, you are devaluing what is valuable to him. You are, in a way, making him feel like he should feel guilty for wanting this, playing this, and indulging in this in any kind of way. And again, there is a line that he should not be crossing as far as where it becomes unhealthy. But I do believe that if it's important to him, there has to be an understanding and a willingness to strike a balance there. So take back the it's just a game. No, it's more than a game. It's all those things I mentioned. And yes, this can also play into sports, whether he's playing it or rooting for his team. Now, again, I'm going to put out there real quick. I'm someone who I played a lot of sports growing up, love sports to this day. And once upon a time, I used to be more emotionally attached to sports. And then I kind of had a shift in my thinking, like, listen, this ain't gonna do anything to improve my life. I still enjoy sports, but that emotional attachment that I had before is not nowhere near as strong or even there at all. So again, this is something that I understand both sides of this. I do think that men and people in general have to be very careful with how emotionally invested they get to where they'll let this game ruin their day. But I understand that, again, to them, it's not just a game. And to them, it is kind of the extension of the video game, just a version that they don't play. But they view themselves as, this is my team and I want my team to win. And when my team wins, it makes me feel good as well. Again, I feel the need to say, I do think that individuals have to find other things that give them that great feeling of achievement that they can actually put their hands on. But it's important to them. So it's another example of when that game is on TV, do not interrupt. Do not make an issue. If it's an emergency, that's different, all right? But outside of an emergency, let that man have it. Let him have his game, let him do his thing, and just keep it moving. And show respect for what is valuable to him the same way you would want him to show respect to what is valuable to you. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there.
Relationships are the key to a successful life. But there's 5 areas that we have to be mindful of when it comes to relationships. There's relationship with God, relationship with ourselves, relationship with family and friends,